Hello again from my front porch. I am here today because, well, you notice it looks a little different, a little farther back. It's because I want to make room for my guest today. My guest is my niece, Megan. And I realize you haven't really met my niece, Megan. Have you ever been on one of these before?
I don't think I've ever been.
Yeah.
You planned it, but then...
Yeah, we were going to do one, it was almost 2 years ago, because you did a little trip to...
A little trip. I lived in Hawaii for a summer.
And where you interned, right?
Yes.
And what kind of stuff were you doing there?
I interned for the military recreation. So I did summer programs for the military families. Did a little bit of lifeguard, little summer programs. So yeah, it was fun. It was a fun time.
It's fun. She enjoyed being there for a little while. Would you like to move back there?
Move
Live
back?
there?
No.
No. Would you like to go back and visit sometime?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, let's get this out of the way too before we go too much farther with this. How old are you, Megan? I know you're not supposed to ask a woman her age, but there's a reason I'm asking this. How old are you, Megan?
26.
26. Recently, Megan and I and Lisa and her daughter Sophia, we went out to dinner together, and I had Megan and Sophia, and Lisa was meeting us. And we went to an IHOP, I think it was. And we walked in, and the hostess lady asked if we needed 2 kids menus. Yeah, good times. But you know who else has that trouble? My daughter Ashley has had that trouble too. I mean, she'll be, well, I shouldn't tell you probably how old she's going to be here tomorrow. Actually, is her birthday. But even at this age, at her age now, she still gets assumed that she is much younger than she is, and she hates that. You know what else my daughter hated? Growing up and having a niece like Megan, who got confused as her sister all the time, or her little mini-me, her Ashley Jr. And if they were here together, you'd still see the similarity, because you went down and visited her in Florida not long ago, and even look at the pictures now, it's like, yeah, you can definitely tell you are related for sure. Yes, definite similarities. But Ashley used to get annoyed that Megan was always copying her, or that everyone was saying how Megan is just like you, Ashley. Just like Megan got annoyed that everyone is always comparing her to Ashley. Yeah. Now she loves Ashley. They both love each other very much, but they both got equally annoyed by this constant comparison. That you two are basically the same.
No.
Now they are not basically the same. However, I can attest to them being remarkably similar in many ways. I know this because, well, obviously I lived with Ashley for a long time. She was my daughter, but even as an adult, she still lived with me after divorce and everything. She lived upstairs in the second floor of the house here, and you know, it was almost a roommate in the sense that she was an adult and living upstairs and doing her own thing. Well, she's obviously been gone for a few years now. She got married and moved to Florida, and now I have that guest room up there, but it hasn't been a guest room for the last year and a half. Now, and why is that, Megan?
Because we've been roomies.
Because she moved in to that place up there, and I haven't had her. You're like, wait a minute, Paul. Your niece has been living with you for a year and a half, and you haven't had her on the front porch before. That's right. Partly because it's really confusing to explain all of this. People are like, oh, your daughter. Even Lisa and Sophia still struggle with wrapping their heads around the fact that she is not my daughter, that she's my niece, because of the relationship, and because of how when we have a get together with Lisa, I bring Megan along, and so everyone's like, oh, Paul and his niece, yeah. So it's just like it was easier just not worry about that, but also because she's pretty awesome, just like Ashley is, and as you get a chance to see her and hear her now, you'll be like, why were you talking so much, Paul? You should have let Megan do. She's been living with you for a year and a half. She could have been doing these for a year and a half, and more people would have watched then. That's for sure. Maybe, yeah. And she has some really good stories to tell. Well, I don't know. She has really good stories. I don't know if she would have told them. I don't know. But again, she's pretty awesome. Now, what have you been doing? So you were doing that down in Hawaii.
Yep.
And what have you been doing back here since you've been back?
Back here, I have been working with people with autism, and being a manager for a couple of the homes and a couple of clients that we had in the community, and engaging them and helping them build their independence as independent as they possibly can in their own adult lives.
That's pretty significant work, and not easy work either. You know, my friend Tara has her daughter, who's adult age daughter, that has, among other things, autism and some other challenges. And so I've seen firsthand for quite a while now what the struggles of what goes into that. And so here you are running programs and leading staff for multiple house locations with multiple adult individuals who have autism living in these facilities. That's a tough job, but glad somebody that actually cared about it was doing that job. Now, the reason that I've suddenly broken with keeping her excluded from the front porch is because while I have very much enjoyed having her living upstairs for the last year and a half, I mean, she's pretty low maintenance roommate. I hardly even knew she was here most of the time. She'd come in the house. I'd hear her walk in the house. I'd be downstairs in my office or watching TV. She'd come in the house to the back door in the kitchen, and I'd be like, "Hey!" and she'd yell out, "Hi!" and then she'd go up to her room on the second floor, and I'd never see her for the rest of the night. So, yeah, that's a good roommate right there. But
we had to actually check the garage if
yeah. It's like,
was here.
Open the garage door to look out there and go, okay, the other car's gone. Okay, it's like I said right here. Yeah, that's true. We did that a lot. Yes. But the reason that I asked her to be here today is because today will be her last day here, staying at my house, because she's getting ready to make a significant change. Dun, dun, dun. And that change actually takes us back to the story in Hawaii, because back in Hawaii you were working for the military and doing lots of military stuff, which meant you encountered lots of military individuals and their families and kids and the military service members.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And while you wouldn't want to live there in Hawaii again, you did. There is one thing from Hawaii that still lingers with you.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Try to get them to go away.
Yeah. and just to further make the connection between Megan and Ashley. My son, his name is Alex, and Megan met someone in Hawaii named Alex. And just so you get a feel for who Alex is, he's right here. Come on in, Alex. Ta-da! See? Now, contrary to popular belief and what his sweatshirt currently says, Alex is not from Iowa.
At all.
No. Where are you from?
I was actually born in Florida. Lived part of my life there. Moved to Arizona. Lived there for a little bit, and then went back to Florida.
Yep. And right now, where do you live?
I live in California.
And why do you live in California?
I am stationed there.
Yeah.
Forced to be there.
And you serve in the Navy, correct? Yep. All right. And he now we can't get into what he does for the Navy because
we can talk about what I do right now.
Okay, well, let's talk about what you do right now, because I want to be very careful. We got to be, guys like this, top secret stuff and all those things.
Nothing like that.
No, nothing like that. But still, I want to make sure that he has rules he has to live by. There, so tell us what you can about what you do.
So I am a bosun mate, and really just to kind of generalize what we do, it's evolution, such as taking fuel on from other ships, cargo. So when we do ship-to-ship transfer, whenever we need supplies, whenever we're out to sea, helo operations, landing them, sending them off. We don't actually drive them. It's kind of just signalman stuff. But we kind of work a little bit with helos, but nothing like the maintainers or technicians do. We don't actually.
The helos, is that those planes that take off straight up?
The helicopters, yeah.
Yeah. Or the helicopters, helos. Yeah.
They got a fancy term for everything.
Yeah. Okay.
We also do.
No, it's not the planes that take off straight up. It's a helicopter.
Probably think of Ospreys.
Yeah, it's probably.
And then the other thing we really do is boat operations, like search and rescue operations. Another job that I have, it's not like the air crewman, the air rescue swimmers, but I'm a surface rescue swimmer, so really just a rescue swimmer for my ship, not specifically for a air department. And then
wasn't that ironic? You were working as a lifeguard, and and you fell for a guy who part of his job, at least, is actually having to be a very, very good swimmer. Sort of a lifeguard of the Navy.
I should have fake drowned.
Yeah.
I would have let you drown. But Megan and Alex now, they've been a couple for quite a while, and now you didn't become a couple immediately in Hawaii. That's where you just met, but over the time since then, that has grown, you know, and so now you're moving out to California so you can be closer to him. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's thinking. I mean, what you're thinking. I don't He's probably thinking, oh no, I have to get rid of half of my closet.
I already got rid of half my closet. I'm gonna have to get rid of the other half.
Yeah, he's been out here helping make sure Megan got her stuff packed up. Megan is going to be driving out to California.
Yes.
We loaded up her car, and boy, did we load up her car. And her family's here, her mom and dad and brother, to help with all of that. But her vehicle is all packed up so that she can make that route, that drive out there. And I took some pictures of them standing by her car, because when I say it's packed full, I want you to be able to fully appreciate how full, and kudos to Alex, who did a great job of going, oh no, I can make this fit here. Yeah, I can fit this in here. Yeah. So
He's definitely a keeper. Yeah. Definitely a hype man.
He had some mad skills when it came to squeezing everything into that car.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So kudos to you for your new adventure. I imagine out in California, you're hoping to be able to do some of the same kind of work that you were doing here.
Yeah. Hopefully.
And I would think that there'd be a big need for it there as well.
Right.
I
knew he was buttering me up.
Yeah, he was being way too nice there for a moment. Yeah. So this will be the last time that she's actually living here. It's not the last time she'll be here. No. But you know, in Ashley's case, when they left, she's like, and we're gonna come back and visit as much as we can. And I think in what's it now been 4 years since they were married. I think she's been back once. So we'll see. Well, yeah. Ashley now has her and her husband Josh have acclimated to Florida. They're blood thinned, and now they come back, and they only want to come back during the summertime. They don't want to be back in the winter at all. Can't say I blame him. He was already having some issue with it being so cold here. So and it's but it's no fault of his again, because you're used to being in San Diego or Southern California, wherever.
Normally pretty warm there.
Yeah. So you know it's pretty common when you're used to one climate and then you step into a radically different climate. You're like, okay, yeah. But I don't know. These guys got to get wrapped up. We got to get her on the road. So because it's a long drive, you got to get started on that. And so I think you guys have talked about, I don't know if it's still an option, but you guys have talked about maybe grabbing some zombie burger before she hits the road there. And so I got to let you guys get going to that. And it's yet another comparison between Megan and Ashley, because Ashley's husband Josh, last time they were here, first place he wanted to go when they got here was zombie burger. So.
Which was funny that, when I came back from Hawaii, the first thing I wanted was a zombie burger shake. And
the first place, well, maybe not the first place you took me to, but the first place you wanted me to really, really try was
zombie burger.
Yep. So apparently Zombie Burger has a really important place in the heart of our family. Not as much as Pie 5.
That is true.
I've sort of indoctrinated Megan in the Pie 5 family. So
yes.
Yeah.
I feel like we have lived there.
Yeah. But anyway, again, they need to get wrapped up. We need to get Megan squared away, get all her stuff on the road. Her family still wants to be able to say goodbyes to her, and they may want to say goodbye to him too. I don't know. The guy who's responsible for all of us losing Megan halfway across the country now.
That's you, not me. That's on you, not me.
All right. So with that, everyone say goodbye.
Ow. Bye, guys.
And I'll see you all next time from my front porch.